Welcome back. Thanks for coming back through. All right, so today we're gonna get right into it because I want to talk about some of the features of this shoe and the fact that it is a little bit perplexing to me. It sits between a range of shoes that basically created this. It's either, oh, how do I put it? It seems to be an overblown version of a previous shoe. And I know it's had its own model, but this one takes on some of the qualities of the other. Let's just get into it, man. Let's just get into it. We are talking about the New Balance More v.4. The More line is exactly what it said, and it was born from, quite honestly, the 1080. So when Fresh Foam was first introduced, and this is one of the first models where the 1080 took on the Fresh Foam and its current look, which it mostly still has except for this whale tail here, which I actually liked. It caught a lot of rocks, but man, it was comfy on the Achilles. Anyway, it's not about this shoe. This Fresh Foam in this stack of the 1080, and this is the 1080 V10, I do believe. This stack was pretty chunky at the time. Now we've obviously gone beyond that, but at the time, this was it. So when you look now at what the More line became, it was literally its name. It was more of this. I got this one for a song, so it's not going back, but I'm definitely going to have a hard time placing it into the rotation. For a walking, standing shoe, it is brilliant. Let me tell you, it is fantastic. But I gotta admit, it's giving me a little bit of consternation. It's confusing me a bit because of the feel when I try to get going. And where I would place this in the rotation is beyond me. So let's chat about some of the pieces and parts. We're going to talk about upper, midsole, outsole, of course. Then we're going to talk about just how it looks, how it operates in my first, 48 hours of wearing it. Let's get into it. So I must say, right from the outset, this is a beautiful shoe. Like, the look of the silhouette is pretty fire. And I love it, you know? It doesn't look quite this chunky until you step into it and the midsole foam, that Fresh Foam X, starts to spread out on you and kind of splay out as you get weight into it. The upper, New Balance has mastered their uppers, okay? You know, even back in the more knit days of the 1080 V10, the knit was good, but New Balance, I feel like, does better with mesh. And they have done a fantastic job with their meshes. You know, we've already seen what they've done with the Propel V4. What is it about number 4? There's a lot of big changes happening in the 4th iteration of their shoes. The engineered mesh is stunning. Got a great pattern going. You know, toe box, plenty of air flowing through there. It's not a thick mesh. It's very airy, very light. In a lot of ways, it feels like a knit, although it is not. That engineered mesh, you know, gives you structure in certain areas. Again, with their functional end that we talked about, that fused overlay is now giving lots of support to the pull when those laces get cinched up tight. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it's giving some 3M vibes. So that one actually shines when you get going and the light hits it. It's beautiful. Padded collar. Very good. You can see that this shoe is actually put together, no seams anywhere except for the back. So the shoe is actually put together in the rear when it's pulled up together and sewn together. That eliminates any rubbing. Again, I often run without socks because I don't like my feet sliding. The feeling of that sliding is terrible for me. And so I'm locked in and I got no discomfort at all. It was great. More on the tongue there. Beautiful padded collar. Again, they got rid of the big whale tail that was on some of their other models a couple years back. This shoe is kind of bulbous, kind of wide, so you're gonna maybe initially get a little heel slippage, but they've got a good lip of padding that locks down on the ball of your heel. So you should be good to go after a few wears. Get it roughed up just a little bit, get sinking down into the shoe. I'm gonna skip the obvious and go straight to outsole, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, tread pattern is a bit haphazard all over the place. It's really just trying to give you some grip for the coverage. Nothing special about the pads. They really are just rubber grip pads. So, but with that much surface area, traction is probably not going to be a problem. Again, I was in mine all day, last couple days. It functions well. It's full on rubber. I don't know what the compound is, but it's good. It's good. It's nothing special, just decent traction. Okay, let's get to the elephant-sized foot in the room. My goodness. My goodness. This big hunk of foam, and it is a big hunk of foam, is the More. That is the More in More v.4. It's chunky, it's thick, it's high up there, and truth be told, you are up on top. Let me see, I'm going to rub my finger along the side to show you where you sit. Okay? There, you are up on top of all that foam there. Okay? Here, you're down just below that side guard, that side rail that pops itself up there. And then back here, you are back up on top of that whole chunk right there. So you're really sitting on a massive chunk of foam the whole way through. Now, Fresh Foam X, I'm not sure if it's always been called Fresh Foam X. I think it has been. On the tongue of the 1080 V10, it does say Fresh Foam X. Now, this shoe is a few years old. On the side, it just says Fresh Foam. Now, here, they are making it a point to call out the X in Fresh Foam X. I'm not sure if that's more marketing, if the compound changed. Really not sure. Now, I will say, in the 1080, it is much more densely packed. Now, I've discussed this a little bit when it came to New Balance's other foam that they were using in their fuel cell. The fuel cells also have different compounds of fuel cell, probably the same material, different pressures. You see this in Boost, from the Ultra Boost to the Energy Boost down to the what's the other one? The Pure Boost. So you see different formulations and also different densities of foam. The density in this almost feels as if they just blew up the 1080 and didn't pack it as dense. It's softer, there's less immediate rebound, it's more cushioning and soaking up that impact. One of the salespeople that sold me my pair said that it was basically the Bondi killer. It's meant to go heads up with Hoka's biggest shoe, its most foam in the Bondi. It is not nearly as athletic as the Rocket X. Well, same here. This shoe is really, really comfortable. Really, really big. and you feel like it takes an eternity to get back up out of the shoe. Now, as I said, I'm a larger runner. I'm over 200 pounds. I'm 6'4". I can squish through a big chunk of foam, but I tell you, it's this is a lot of foam. I just don't know where to place it. You got a rocker profile, which helps with the roll through, but and also there's no plate, but that's a big piece of foam, so it's not going to bend very easily. So you've got some stability, you've got tons of surface area. It's also very wide. That top down view is almost embarrassing. Like, profile wise, I tell you what, the designers of the New Balance More really got their design on this one, because the profile of the shoe is beautiful. Even though it's chunky, you look at the top down, there's foam just spilling out from everywhere. It's so crazy. So crazy. Yeah, I don't know where to put it. I'm going to get a few more days of wearing it to kind of see where I can place it. But other than that, it's really unique. It's a good looking shoe. Really good looking shoe. Just got to get used to it, I suppose. I'm not used to that much foam. So they give you more. As advertised, there is a lot of foam in this. Now, it comes in some great colors. I chose the slightly more colorful with the gray. There's a white and black. That was just too much white for this big a shoe. I needed to break that visual up, because fashion-wise, I'm going to put these on. I'm going to wear them around. So that being the case, I needed to shake things up a little bit with that. Not a whole lot of gimmicks, not a plate, nothing like that. Sincere lockdown when it comes to the flat laces. I think New Balance did their lacing right. It's the same laces that they have on the Fresh Foam Propel, and I would assume on the Rebel and some others. That's good. No complaints there. I love the functional in, that how it's pulling up on the sides. Now it's giving much more support, and it just looks good to take over the whole side of the shoe when it used to just be a plain in. Other than that, pretty straightforward shoe. Beautiful profile, beautiful medial, beautiful lateral. Upper is great. Top down is a little bit goofy. It's going to take some time. If you've got the Fresh Foam